let's continue with our explanation. So the property by which metals can be drawn into wires is called ductility. Now we studied about malleability. Malleability means what? The property by which you can beat metal into thin sheets. Okay, that means you can make thin sheets out of metals. For example, aluminium foil. Okay, that is malleability. So another property is there of metals which is called ductility. What is that? The property of metal by which it can be drawn into wires. Okay, that means you have seen copper wires, you have seen aluminium wires, isn't it? You have seen different wires made up of metals. So how can you make wires out of metals? Because of this property. Okay, that is called ductility. Have you ever noticed the difference in sound on dropping an iron sheet or a plate, a metal coin and a piece of coal on the floor? Suppose you are dropping a steel utensil on the floor, or suppose you have dropped an iron utensil on the floor, and suppose you have dropped a wooden piece or a coal piece on the floor. What is the difference? I think you must have noticed that when you drop a iron ball on the floor, or you drop a steel plate on the floor, there is a kind of ringing sound produced. Okay, which hits your ears, isn't it? There is a kind of ringing sound produced which hits your ears. But when you drop a piece of coal or a piece of wood on the floor, does it make the same sound? No, it doesn't make the same sound. You will find that it will not produce a kind of ringing sound. Now, have you seen wooden bells in temples? Can you give a reason? So, wooden bells you will never find in temples. Always the bells are made up of iron. So, the reason is because wood, it doesn't produce a ringing sound, whereas iron, it produces a ringing sound. Why? Because metals have the property of producing a ringing sound, whereas non-metals do not produce a ringing sound. Okay? So, since metals produce ringing sounds, they are said to be sonorous, the third physical property. First physical property, what did you get? Malleability. Okay? Second physical property, you got ductility. Third physical property is sonorous. Metals are sonorous. Sonorous means they produce a ringing sound when you hit them hard. Okay? Like iron, when you hit iron hard, it will produce a ringing sound. Steel, when you hit steel hard, it will produce a ringing sound. Okay? But when you hit wood hard or you hit your door hard, it will not produce a ringing sound because these are all non-metals. Okay? The materials other than metals are not sonorous. That means non-metals are not sonorous. Now we can say that some metals are hard, isn't it? Lustrous. Lustrous means they have a shine, I told you. They are malleable, they are ductile, sonorous and good conductors of heat and electricity. So if I ask you what are the physical properties of metals, you have to say the physical properties of metals are: number 1, metals are hard. Number 2, metals are lustrous, that is they have a shine. Number 3, metals are malleable, that is they can be made into thin sheets. Number 4, metals are ductile, that means they can be drawn into wires. Number 5, metals are sonorous, that means they produce a ringing sound when they are hit hard. Number 6, metals are good conductors of heat and electricity, that means easily heat and electricity can pass through metals. Conductors means easily heat and electricity can pass through metals. Okay, clear? Yeah. So the materials which generally possess these properties are called metals. Okay. So if something is hard, lustrous, malleable, ductile, good conductors of heat and electricity and sonorous, these are metals. The examples of metals are iron, copper, aluminium, calcium, magnesium. So you will get, okay, later on in class 9 you will study about the periodic table. So in the periodic table there you can see how many metals are there, how many non-metals are there, all these things are there. Okay, so they will, you can understand and you can know, okay, later in higher classes. So in contrast, materials like coal and sulfur, they are soft and dull in appearance. They break down into a powdery mass on tapping with a hammer. As I told you, okay, sulfur I told you it's a yellow powder. Okay, so sulfur, even if it is available in the form of cake, you just tap it with the hammer little bit, it breaks into powder. Same thing with coal also, you hit the coal piece little bit and it will break into powder. Okay, they are not sonorous. Are they sonorous? No. They are poor conductors of heat and electricity. They are not good conductors. They are poor conductors. These materials are called non-metals. Okay, because they don't possess any such characteristics which the metals possess. Okay, that means they are not hard, they are not lustrous, they are not sonorous, they are not malleable, they are not ductile, they are poor conductors of heat and electricity. So that is why these are non-metals. Examples of non-metals are sulfur, carbon, oxygen, phosphorus. Okay, basically the gases are non-metals. Okay, like oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide. Okay, so these are basically non-metals, all the gases that are there. Okay, so when you look at the periodic table, then you can understand. Okay, later, if it is possible for me, I will show you. Otherwise, in class 9 also you will study, okay, about the periodic table. Now, metals like sodium and potassium are soft and can be cut with a knife. Now, this is an exception. Now, you know that in science, everywhere you will find exceptions. Okay, everywhere there are exceptions. Like, what is the first exception? The first exception is sodium and potassium, these are metals. Now, according to the definition of metals, these should be hard, but these are not hard, these are soft and they can be cut with a knife. Okay, so that is the first exception. Second exception is metals are basically solids. You will never find metals to be liquids, they are basically solids. But mercury is the only metal which is found in liquid state at room temperature. Okay, now mercury is the only liquid metal. So that is an exception. Okay, why? Because basically all metals are solids, but mercury is not solid, it is a liquid metal. Okay, so these are exceptions. Where do you find mercury? I think you know, in thermometers, isn't it? So whenever you have fever, you put the thermometer on your wrist, sorry, on your armpit or on your mouth, then you will find that the mercury level rises up. Why it can rise up? Because it is liquid. Okay, if it was solid, is it possible for mercury to rise up? No. Okay, so mercury is the only liquid metal. Okay, now chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So chemical properties we'll study in the next class, but the first slide I will show you. Reaction with oxygen. You also had performed in class 7 an activity of burning a magnesium ribbon in air. Do you remember? In class 7 I had shown you how you can burn magnesium ribbon. Okay, it burns with a white light. Okay, you learned that both the processes oxide formation take place. Okay, you are familiar with the phenomenon of rusting of iron. Rusting of iron, you know, iron gates, iron bridges. Okay, there is a brown layer developing over them. That is called rust. Okay, so these two reactions are very important. Please write them down. You have in your textbook only, but you don't have the solution. You just have this part in your textbook. So those who have your textbook, you fill it up in your textbook. Those who don't have your textbook, you write it in your copy. Iron plus oxygen plus water, you get iron oxide. This is the formula Fe2O3.XH2O. Now remember, these 2 and 3 you should write down. Okay, like water, you know na, the 2 has to be down. Because this is a slide, it is difficult for me to write down. So I have written like this. Fe2 has to be down, O3 has to be down. Similarly, X is okay, H2 has to be down. Okay. O. Then magnesium plus oxygen, O2 has to be down, it is magnesium oxide, MgO. Okay, so please write these two reactions in your copy. So here you can see this is iron oxide, this is magnesium oxide. Okay, so oxide formation takes place. This is the equation for the formation of rust. This is the equation when you burn magnesium ribbon. You got this in class 7 also, if you remember. Okay, so we'll continue with our explanation in the next class. Thank you all of you.